not yet. Please, no.
I don't know where your pamphlet is, Jen, but you'll have to find it because it's 7 o'clock straight up. I'm Dave Globin. You're not. This is Boogie with the Bull, Thursday night live. Jen is looking for her pamphlet, so if she is not smiling into her camera, as soon as she finds it, she'll be smiling into her camera. Randy Rhodes is here, and as far as I'm concerned, this is a ceremonial event because the three of us are back. And I hope the three of us are back. I hope the three of us are back from time to time whenever the three of us can be here.
Right.
And I've alerted security that on the nights that the three of us are together, there has to be one extra handicap parking space.
And coffee.
And coffee. And coffee. And what do they call that? Fireball. Fireball for the coffee. Yes.
Oh,
Fireball and black coffee is just as good, if not better, than amaretto and coffee or Kahlua and coffee. Although if you like sweet things, Kahlua and coffee is the way to go. We are live on Facebook on the Dave Globin profile. If you want to be in the live chat, give me half a second. And whoa, you can't do that.
Is he making? He's making the coffee. He's awesome.
Randy's up and he's making.
Yeah.
Randy's up and he's making the coffee. And there we go. The live chat is open on the Dave Globin profile. If you're over on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, the live chat is over there. Good evening, William Grant. I have to touch my screen because for some strange reason, if I have the ring light on behind the laptop to light me up, then it seems that my mouse transmitter plugged in doesn't want to work. So I have to remember to touch things with my fingers and do that. And then clean off my screen when I'm done. Anyway, like I said, we're live on the Dave Globin profile and we're live on Facebook, on YouTube on the Boogie with the Bull page. It is open discussions, news you can use. We may touch upon what we touched upon this morning, and we may just go whatever. I did invite Jen. I did invite Randy. I did invite Ichabod Palmer. I don't know if he will make it. I talked to him the other day, and he said he thought he could do Thursday, and that's about it. If I didn't invite you and you want to come on, there's the link. You can plug the link and see if you want to come in. The rules tonight are that if anyone other than William Rayfield pops on and wants to come on, then I will have to ask everybody else who was on if they're okay with other people getting at it. But William Rayfield did know that he was going to get a link. He has a link, and if he is available and he wants to come on, more power to him. We had a really good time this morning, Randy and I think. Oh, and I can't beg you enough to do it because 10 o'clock tomorrow morning is 8 o'clock for you, but Bill Muckler is joining Randy and I tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. He does not have a whole lot of time because he's live at 11 o'clock, but he was going to come in. I asked him to promote Red Friday, promote his broadcasts, the Bill Muckler Show, and what he talks about on the broadcast. And then I said, maybe for no additional charge, I will try to sell books.
Awesome.
Because everybody should have his books. Now, Danny Campbell says hello. And let's see. Danny Campbell says hello. William Grant, like I said hello. Anybody else is welcome to come in and be part of the broadcast. And Jen did have a what's the word I want?
Does she have a list?
She does have a list of things that we want that we want to go through, and we will go through Jen's list. And then we'll
can you post that in the chat so I can see it? I
actually don't know how to do it, but if you send it to Randy,
I can probably do it.
If you send it to Randy, Randy's an expert in that, and he will be able to send it on a camera that I'll be able to just put up and post on the screen if we want to do that.
Send me in Messenger.
What? Yeah, Jen, send it to Randy in Messenger.
I don't have it. I sent it to you when I answered the link to the show.
All right. hold on,
It's
hold on,
on
hold
our.
on, hold on, hold
Yeah.
on, hold on, hold on.
Email or what?
I was not lost. No, I
No,
was
it's
not
in
lost.
Messenger. I sent it to
I have it.
Jay.
I have it in Messenger. She sent it to me. So what I have to do is
Yeah.
it's this. And if I take it and go to here. All right, Randy, you now have it. I sent it to you in Messenger. It says talking points, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them.
Right.
So if you we're getting the bugs working. We're getting a little bit more professional, folks. I promise that we will start
Sure.
doing more and more technical fun stuff like that. Make it easy for Jen when she's on and everybody else to follow along. Like I said, William Rayfield explained to me the other day how to just take the YouTube channel and post it on Rumble, on my Rumble profile, and then people over at Rumble will be able to watch it. And I know all about that stuff because my hero, J.J. McCartney, when he was on, used to get up every morning, he said, around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning and do something like 300 to 500 manual shares from his YouTube channel to different groups all over Facebook. And it said it took him something like 4 or 5 hours to do it. And I don't know how he how he was able to do it because it drives me crazy trying to do things like that. I can't sit in a chair and do it that long anymore. If I have something that I need to share to 14 groups, it takes me these days about a half an hour to do it. But anyway,
Dave, I wanted to tell
digress.
you I
Go ahead.
posted a link to my Facebook page at the top of our chat here only because I wanted people to go there and see the pamphlet I made at the top of the page. You could print it. Go ahead.
I will put that. Hang on just a second. Let me do this. It is wait a minute. It is
Facebook.com.
Facebook.com. See, the No Budget Broadcasting Company spares no expense to bring you this broadcast. And Facebook.com/JR
Woodruff.
JRWOODRUFF. All right. That is a link that you can see in the Boogie with the Bull live chat over on my Dave Golden profile. If you go to Jen's page, you will be able to see the link and follow along with what we're doing on the post on her page. If you are, and then so let's get into it. It's now homeschool. If you're not in your seat, you're in trouble. You're late, and you'll have to explain to Miss Woodruff or stay after and get help. So I yield the floor to Jen, but I hold the balance of my time.
Awesome. Okay, before we get into the pamphlet, I wanted to talk about the importance of public speaking, especially if you're an official. And I'm getting very frustrated with what Kamala Harris is doing. I mean, she is known everywhere, whether you're on liberal media or conservative media. Her stupid word salads, you would get fired from any other job that you have. You cannot talk like that. Nobody can understand that. The passage of time, what? And then she goes down to the border to see what the cause is of them coming over. They want freedom. They want free stuff. That's why they want to come over. We could have told you that, Kamala. It's crazy. But anyways, I was just really frustrated with her last 3 word salads because she is very close to being the next commander in chief. And I'm like, you can't talk like an idiot and act like an idiot and like a hyena and laugh at everything because you don't know what to say or because you feel uncomfortable. Because Joe is not getting any younger, and he's proving that his memory is slipping. And what's so ironic is that it was just 6 months ago when they were asking him in a press conference, or what he was doing a special interview, and they said, how can we know that you're doing okay cognitively? Like, if you don't get tested, how will we know? And he said this. And I was like, oh, dear God, of all things you could say, he said, watch me. And he was so confident. And then he went into his tripping spells. And now he's getting into his brain lapsing spells. And that was just so miserable. What was it last week? When he wasn't doing a press conference, he wanted to do a statement. And I thought, that's perfect. Don't have people ask you questions. Don't answer anything. Just make a statement. This was right after the Hur report, because Robert Hur was the one who talked about his senility and how he is not fit for office. And so he gets up to make a statement that he is so fit for office. He can remember everything. He just did. Oh my God. This is when I was like, shut up, shut up, shut up. I didn't care. It was funny though. But I thought, Jill, where's Dr. Jill? She should be saying, no, don't say that. He goes, I just talked to Cece down in Mexico. And we're all like, what? To see if he would give humanitarian aid to Israel. And I'm like, Sisi is the prime minister of Egypt. You're talking about South. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. And I'm like, okay, buddy, we just watched you. And that's why I was extra concerned about Kamala Harris, because she's the VP and she is going to replace him. And all she does is talk in rhymes. It's scary. It's very scary. So that's what I was going to bring up at first, but I pretty much said everything about that. Did you have anything interesting to talk about that,
Well,
Randy?
what to add to what you're saying is, you're absolutely right. When he talks,
Oof.
um, you never know what's coming out of his mouth. But they're just saying on this one newscast that if he doesn't have his little card in his hand to follow the script,
Uh-huh.
he's lost. He doesn't know what to say. Um, but he was talking about the one. I just had a meeting the other day. We're walking together through this, on this tour with so and so, whoever the leader was, and had a good conversation. The god darn leader has been dead for years,
The
right?
Russian, yeah, the Russian guy, he died in 94. Oh my gosh. Hi, Robin. Um,
Now, to Michael Anthony's credit, he does have people on his shows who have personal experience with the afterlife and with alien life and things like that, and I'm all about that. But when the leader of our nation is saying that he's holding conversations and meet and walking side by side of dead people, I'm
oh
sorry,
God.
that's time for me to start worrying a little bit.
Yeah. And there's nowhere else to go. I mean, this is the last stop. United States is the last stop. There's nowhere else to go. We've got to get this guy replaced. And I'm not, it's terrifying with Kamala at the helm after him. So,
Exactly.
anyways, as we're all holding our breath and praying that this is just goes really fast and painless, I wanted to also bring up. Oh, this is a really cool statement. I heard this and I was like, that is so true. That everything looks impossible until it's done. And I thought, no kidding, because what we're going against right now looks crazy. And I hate when people bring up 1776 2.0. I'm like, no, no, we don't want another war. We don't. How can we do this? How can we use the Constitution to work for us? It's terrifying, especially these broadcasts that we're doing, like you're doing, Dave. Even on Jerry's, he's like, don't incite violence on my show. And I'm like, I'm not. I don't. but I could see how it could be taken that way. But just think of this. So everything looks impossible until it's yes, Dave.
I still think we can do this without inciting violence. And I'm probably one of the only few MAGA patriots, conservative patriots, Republicans, group owners,
What's your
group
plan?
admins on Facebook that thinks we can do it without violence, but that's because I want to think we can do it without violence, but I don't think we can. I don't think we can because they have stacked the deck against us, as William was saying this morning. There are now like 40 million people that don't belong here in this country. And I don't believe they don't belong here in this country and they just ended up here. I believe they are now in this country waiting for their marching orders. It's like the biggest sleeper cell, if you could imagine a sleeper cell that is here. And the only thing I can hope is that sort of when Barack Obama brought the Muslim refugees in, and we did our best to help them settle here and get assimilated. I remember the king of Saudi Arabia evidently contacted him and said, we don't want our share in Saudi Arabia. We're just afraid that they're going to cause problems with the rest of the kingdom. So we would be willing to pay the United States to take our portion and care for them. And there were pictures of some beautiful tents that Saudi Arabia bought to make a tent city that they had set up, that I guess the king said to Obama, we'll take this stuff apart, we'll ship it to you, I'll send people to help set it up anywhere you want it, and we'll pay you. And I joke about it that if it was a real conversation, that's when Barack Obama got involved in human trafficking.
Oh, good point. Oh my God, that's sick. So sad.
And,
you're right.
And I said, go ahead, Randy.
Oh, I just saw on news, because what I was doing was I was cramming myself with the news earlier, and I have the one site on my second monitor viewing the news as it pops up. But Biden wants to give immediate citizenship to the 40 million illegals that are here. Now, if he manages to get that done prior to the election, right there is a possibility of 40 million votes going to the Democrats.
But there is, as I said this morning, the possibility that, like when Obama brought the Muslim refugees in and did everything he could to make them happy being here, hoping that in 2016 they would vote for Hillary Clinton, I think he got kicked in the Michaels, for lack of putting it any better, not Michael Anthony, but kicked in the Michaels. And he found out that they voted for Trump and they got better. You know, those that were here until 2020 got treated better. The ones that belonged here and the ones that didn't probably ended up getting escorted out of here one by one. And I think what I'm trying to say is that those in the 40 million block that can stay here probably think they have a better chance of getting treated better and being here and getting help, finding a job and getting housing and assimilating in with being an American citizen. Because at some point, if Trump wins the election and is the president in 2024, all that stuff that Biden's giving them is just going to stop.
Right.
Right. But and that with with Trump saying that he's going to be a dictator the first day back, I think it's to instill fear into the illegals, saying your time is up. You're going to be getting deported back to where you ever came
Go
from.
home, right?
Well, he already did say his first day in the Oval Office, we will see the largest deportation in the history of deportations. I'm going to kill my mic for a second so you guys talk while the dogs are barking in Studio B.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm still on the fence with him getting reelected. I am still of the mindset that he is not going to be around to run for the president of the United States 2024. I hate to say it, and I hope I'm terribly wrong, but I think that they're going to take him out before the election takes place, because the Democrats cannot afford to have him in power, because they know damn well he's going to come after them. He's going to press charges. He's going to throw as many in prison as he possibly can. And you know what damn well the very first one's going to be Hunter. And Hunter's going to say, oh, whoa, wait a minute, wait. I have information that you guys might want to hear about before you throw my ass in prison. And I think he's going to squeal on a shitload of people.
I hope Trump says, I'm going to throw your ass in jail anyway, because Jesse Waters, I watched yesterday on a video podcast of one of his broadcasts recently, where he said the FBI has admitted that for like the last 15 years, they have had 40 FBI agents that have infiltrated Biden Incorporated that are reporting to them on a regular basis. And if Hunter doesn't want to end up in prison for the rest of his life or get a reduced sentence or something, he's going to have to convince Trump that he's going to come clean. And I don't think he will. Plus, he's going to gush on his father, and then his father's got to be investigated, which means that the FBI has to turn over what they have. And then if the FBI is sitting on stuff, then that's going to affect Attorney General Garland, and who is going to be, won't be the Attorney General anymore if Trump is president anyway, and he's going to be indicted and whatever, and all of the Justice Department is going to be indicted, and everybody's going to be indicted. It's going to come down to a day where I'm going to say, don't miss the next Boogie with the Bull, because you'll miss your chance at winning a free indictment.
But did you realize, though, how long it is going to take to investigate every single crime that these people have committed? You won't see it in 4 years. You won't see a completion of a fraction of the ones who are guilty within the first 4 years that President Trump is, if he's in the office, President Trump. I'm sorry.
But if the FBI is sitting on the evidence, Randy, and the FBI gets hauled into the appropriate courts and or before Congress and gets ordered to subpoenaed to send this stuff in, if they have evidence and they know what he is guilty of and what everybody in the Biden family is guilty of, and they refuse to turn that stuff in, then I would imagine that judges are going to accept the contempt of Congress. The Republican judges are going to accept the contempt of Congress and lock these people up until they talk.
Okay, but they already have that. They already have. I've seen a testimony where I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's my sweetheart. I love her. I mean, she is a freaking tiger. But she goes after them, and she knows the answer. She has the evidence, She said she has to get the FBI people to say, yes, we have it, and here it is. They are hiding it. They're holding on to it. So what's to prevent them from continuing to hold on to the evidence? Even with a Republican president, they're protecting themselves. I don't know. I don't see it coming out.
Robin brings up an interesting question because I don't know if everybody knows the answer. Who else besides Biden and Trump are running for president? Nikki Haley is still in on the Republican side as a candidate for president. I don't know if anybody else is. Asa Hutchins is still in, but he's so far down that I don't believe he stands a chance of getting the nomination from whichever party he may be in. I don't know if he's a Republican or a Democrat. I don't know if Robert Kennedy is in, still trying to chase the Democrat nomination. I don't know who else.
He's
Go ahead,
independent.
Jen. Okay.
RFK is independent.
Okay. Well, he, as an independent, he probably doesn't stand the chance of getting enough to get his name on the ballot anywhere.
He's not even getting Secret Service protection. That's how much I think of him.
Man.
Well,
yeah,
I personally think that needs to be, the Secret Service needs to be investigated, because the policy, the way I understand it, is all candidates get Secret Service protection until the election. I don't know if their families get Secret Service protection or not, but the candidates themselves are supposed to be getting Secret Service protection, which means that right now President Trump should be running around this country with his own Trump security personnel, Secret Service personnel, and probably additional Secret Service personnel, because he's a candidate for president. And the rules should be, these are the rules, and that's followed. Once, if you are getting it as a candidate and you drop out, then you don't get it anymore.
Right.
Because you're not a candidate. In theory, you don't need to be protected anymore because you're not a candidate.
Right.
I mean, right now, Trump is the most protected person, I think, on the face of this planet. But the only place that they could probably take him out is in the air, because he doesn't have, obviously, jet fire protection that I know of.
I don't believe they're going to take him out. I don't believe it's going to be in the air. It's going to be on the ground somewhere. Like everything else. I don't, and I could be wrong, but I don't believe that anyone that it's gotten to a point where someone is going to try to shoot down his plane within the United States. I could be wrong. I hope it doesn't ever get anywhere near that point. Because the only other thing is, when you see that plane in the sky, you don't know who's on that plane.
Well, no kidding.
Well, you don't know who's on that plane.
He would have to go on a separate one.
There's
unmarked.
more than one, right? There's more than one black SUV in Trump's motorcade. And the whole idea is so that you don't know which one that he's in. It's the same one with Biden, so that you don't know which one he is in. And they have it all coordinated. And they will go down the highway with a vehicle, one of the multiple vehicles in the motorcade will get off the highway with escorts and police behind it, and the rest will close up and keep going, and you don't know which one they're in, and they do that for that reason. And I don't want to believe that someone's going to try to blow planes out of the sky hoping that they get the plane that has them on it. But that doesn't mean that another country's not going to fire something on him. But I just don't think it's gotten that far yet. But I could be wrong.
We never thought back in the day that someone would kill the Kennedys. I remember I was just a kid when that took place, and I remember the Sunday newspaper. Back in the day, the Sunday newspaper was like that, like 4 inches thick, right, of all kinds of stuff. And but in the newspaper was a full portrait of John F. Kennedy because he was killed, and they were handing out these portraits, beautiful paintings of the president. I mean, no one thought back then that he was going to get we would have a president get assassinated twice. But then, unfortunately, the people want to say, well, there is that hex against the Kennedy family.
The Kennedy curse, yeah.
The Kennedy curse, because they did the bad things against the Indians, and they were cursed.
Man. Wow.
Yeah. I just want to jump in for a second. Lily, yes, I see that you sent me stuff. I will take a look at it as soon as we are done tonight. I will probably review it again tomorrow morning after the morning broadcast, and I will get back to you as to where we are standing with it. If not tomorrow, sometime over the weekend. I'd very much like to invite Jen Woodruff to take part in it. And what I'd rather do is just send everything to Jen that you sent to me. And I think she will want to be interested in it and want to do it. And I would even say that if we do it on a Boogie with the Bull, Jen's more than welcome to take it to any other broadcast that she's on and do it with them. It's time to just get back to the days where everybody worked with each other and nobody really cared. But Jen, I'll send you a couple of pages of information on something that I think you will find very interesting about happenings in Maine that I think are connected to happenings in New Hampshire as well. Thank you, Lily. So, like I said, I will get it. I will look at what you sent me. I will get it all to Jen by sometime tomorrow, and hopefully we will start. We'll start getting it closer to a broadcast date, and I will let you know because I want you to be on. And I also said that if I could get a hold of Mike Gill and he can come up for air, he might be another good one to have on the broadcast too. Anyway, now I'm going to yield back, hold my balance of my time, and go back to Randy Rhodes, who I affectionately cut off once again, and I apologize.
Well, that's good. I'm used to it. So we're at number 2 now. Everything looks impossible until it's done. Do we do that one?
Yeah, we did.
Well, you know what? Okay. So you have here, everything looks impossible until it's done. For example, the Revolutionary War. So let me talk about that for a second. One of the neat things about doing genealogy, at least from my standpoint, is studying the families. Okay, so you have these families who they live in primarily in England, but also in other areas of Europe, and they're living to what they thought is a bad lifestyle. Maybe they're poor, they're impoverished. They don't have an income, they don't have a job, whatever. So they decide, this. Sell everything we have and what we can't take with us. We're going to donate to the goodwill of, England, and we're going to get on board this ship. And ladies, I'm not sure what life on board the ship's going to be like, and it's going to be several weeks of travel on the ocean. So just cut your hair and make you look more like a boy, cover you up a little bit, just so we have protection for you, sweetheart. Yeah, I know Daddy loves long hair too, but it's going to grow back. I promise you, sweetheart. So they managed to escape, rape or whatever, or getting sick and dying on board a ship. Because it's not like a 1 day travel from back in the day. It was weeks of being on board a ship and traveling from England to the New World. Wow. So now they get New World, right? And there's no Starbucks, there's no Trump Towers, there's no Motel 7, so Daddy and Uncle Mikey and Uncle blah 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 and cousin so and so, and they have to go down. They got to cut down the wood. They got to say build it. A lean-to. Hurry up, honey. There's weather's gonna rain. I know. I see the clouds. Just do what you got to do. Get the campfire going and cook the food. We're all worried about it. We got this. So they get past all that. They got their house built. They got their few acres, their promised land of 50 to 100 acres, planted. It's hard to get ready to harvest. And now the Indians show up. And they had to live through. And, honestly, God, I follow this one family. They survived the fire of London, which absolutely wiped out London. They came to the New World. They landed. They survived illness. They survived the death. There's, enough of them left over from the family. And then it's a massacre occurs at their fort because Indians don't like them impinging on their land. So the Indians attack and they lost more. This family lost more of its family members. So they managed to survive that just to go into a Bacon War, the war before the Revolutionary. All right. So, when everything looks impossible, and these family members must have thought, what in the hell did we do? What were we thinking? That this one family sold everything, survived the trip, survived, building their home, survived the Indian massacre, barely. And now they're in the Bacon War where the British are attacking Jamestown because they want the town for themselves. And the people won't give it to them. And they managed to survive that barely. And then the story just keeps going on. Then you have the Revolutionary War. You have this war. You have that war. And to get to us.
Okay, so, hang on. Let me interrupt just a quick second, Randy. Joining us is William Rayfield, Ray from the Patriots Lab. And if we are synced with the Patriots Lab network, thank you for watching, if you are watching. And we had a great broadcast with Ray this morning. We had 117 live views. It was over 140, reaching 150, I think, in total views. Really fantastic. And Ray, good evening and welcome.
What's up, fam?
Randy, you want to bring Ray up to date?
Yeah. I just, I wanted to, add to, that number two. We got number two. I think is a very important statement. When everything looks impossible, look what these families survived to create Jen or to create Dave or to create William and God forbid to create me. They lived through a lot and managed to somehow survive. Nikki Young from American Rebellion, he's one of my clients, and his family branch of his families are called Acadians. They're French Canadians. They came from France to live in Port Royal, which at the time was under the French rule, but because the English had their troops right there, the English wanted control of Port Royal. So this Acadian family was like ninth, I think it was like his ninth great grandfather, were involved in that massacre. They were victims of that massacre, and only a handful of that family managed to escape Port Royal to go somewhere else to continue the family lineage. I mean, it's to think that in a stroke of a bullet, or a grenade bullet, or a hatchet, or whatever across the back of your head, could have meant the difference between us being here, or never coming into existence.
Yep. For those of you who are watching, if you go to the Jen Woodruff's profile, the talking points are listed on a post there. We haven't, like I said, gotten to that point in technology where we're good enough to get it loaded in and have it loaded in. Randy's got it, and if he can get it to us in a
I have it there. So.
Hang on just a second.
What Dave is talking about is this pamphlet that I made up, and what it is it starts out with on this side. Let's see. Okay, it talks about the intolerable acts that got us into the Revolutionary War, and so that starts here. And I was going to go over those and how a lot of them are what really helped. Who was here?
Ichabod.
Hi, Stephen.
Hi, guys.
Okay, so this is the printable that's on my wall. It's a free printable. We use this in our homeschooling, and it's how we got into the Revolutionary War with these intolerable acts and how they're happening again. It's so obvious, and how a lot of the Bill of Rights, most of the Bill of Rights, are written to protect us from them. And then the next thing that happened after the intolerable acts is the Revolutionary War. And this is when we're retaliating and saying, no, we wrote this new rule book, and it's called the Constitution. And the first 10 amendments are the things that we added on to it to say, hey, what about this? What about that? And it's protecting us. And that is on the back. And it's your own personal pocket Bill of Rights, and the 10 Bill of Rights is right there. And the First Amendment is what we're kind of really defending right now. The second one, everyone knows, is the right to bear arms and have a fully regulated militia. Each state should have that. But the first one I really love, and because it's easy to remember, if you can remember this acronym. Yeah, the acronym is RAPS. R-A-P. Is it PPS? I think RAPS. Anyhow, PPS. Okay, it's the freedom of religion, the freedom to assembly. We can assemble together. We weren't allowed to do that. Well, the colonists were not allowed to do that. They'd be together, like the British thought they were gonna like riot against them because they knew they were wrong. The colonists just escaped from a tyranny over in England to come to the New World and establish their own colonies. So when they would get together talking, dear God, a Trump rally, yeah, they hated that. So we have the freedom of religion, the freedom to assemble together, the freedom of the press, the freedom to petition the government. They couldn't tell the government that they didn't agree with it. They didn't agree with all this taxing. They didn't care. They would just kill you. Okay, and then the last thing is S, RAPPS, the freedom of speech. And that is coming under fire so bad right now. And I understand what they're saying. They're coming against it strong at the colleges. We cannot have these Palestinians, saying their battle cry because that's inciting violence. But no, we really can. It's horrible. We have the right to be violent. We have the right to hate. We do. It sounds sick, but I wish they would at least get ticketed for it, because when they say, free Palestine from the river to the sea, they are wiping out Israel. That's what the Jordan River all the way to the Mediterranean Sea, that covers Israel. That's their battle cry. They're trying to say, let's make that sand into glass. They want to get rid of Israel. So I can see the anti-Semitic stress there. It's terrible. and they're paying a big price for it in the colleges because they're not getting funded. You know who funds those colleges and all the special interests is the Jews. And they're holding back their funds because they're like, no, they hate us. They want to kill us. They want us gone. So the Jews are not spending money to the colleges. I don't know how in the world Biden is ever going to pay off people's college bills. He can't. He has no funding. They we're broke. We really are, because we're in a big mess right now, and that's all I have to say about our country. And you guys know
Biden
that.
is probably wealthier than a lot of Jews in the United States of America
Yeah,
right
he
now
could pay
that
off
are
everyone's.
Democrats anyway. So maybe he should pay it off. Maybe he can borrow against his future pension. But Ichabod,
Nice.
do you have any comments you want to make on this as we go around?
No, not particular. I mean,
Okay. All right, William.
I ditto what Jen just said. We're in a bad situation right now. America has to take its country back. That's all there is to it. We know our rights. We know the laws. We just have to act on them. I think, I hope, I pray that America has realized that we can't afford not to be proactive. We've been reactive for far too long, and we have to start being proactive and taking our country back.
That's good.
It's not rocket science. They made us scared. They made people scared. They made us. That's like your kids making you afraid of laying the law down in your own house. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. We shouldn't feel bad about what we're doing, not one bit.
That's true. I wanted to say the my favorite part in the middle of this pamphlet on the very bottom is a way we can fight back, and that is calling Congress. Call your congressman. The number is it's in DC. It's 202-224-3121. And you call them. You don't even have to know their names. Just say what state you're from and know your zip code, and they'll say, okay, your congressman is blah, blah, blah. And you leave a message. You never talk to a real person unless you're talking to the switch operator who says operator. And then you just tell her, where you're from, and just keep your words short. I always tell the congressman 3 words: close the border. And they have to write that down and they have to vote for it. So keep doing it. And I always think, because we've talked about this before, and we said, no, that was old school. They don't do that anymore. Well, they do if they're paying for the line to be open. Someone, is running this. So we have to tell them. Tell them how you feel so you have skin in the game and you're not just sitting back saying, we'll see what happens. I'm praying. Well, that's like faith without works. It's dead. It's nothing. Even to God, he's like, do something. You can trust God. He will do stuff, but he doesn't like lazy people. He doesn't want us lazy. So call and tell them. If all you know is close the border, then do that. It goes in front of Congress that what 1 million people called across the United States and said, close the border. Maybe they should do that. Now that Mayorkas is gone, it's prime time.
You might get a job answering phones in someone's office.
Yeah, that would be great. Or greeting at Walmart.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Anyone else? Jen, is there more? Are there more points?
Oh yeah, there's 10. I just went over
Okay.
the first one and the second, kind of. The third one is interesting because I kind of think it's happening now. It's the Quartering Act, and this was when it was common that they didn't have tents, they didn't have their own little place to put the army soldiers. This is Britain. when they came over to the United States. They're coming back after us. We left them on the Mayflower on any way we could travel to the New World. And they come back because they need taxes. They needed money. So they came back. Well, they did this again in 1812, and we kicked their butts again then. But this is the Quartering Act. It is the Third Amendment, and it says we don't have to put up um, armies or military people. We don't have to house these people. We don't have to wash their clothes. Don't have to give them a bed. Don't have to feed them. You know, they're the ones that chose to be here. Figure it out. And now that's exactly what's happening because a lot of these guys coming over, um, we're supposed to call them the migrants. They're just migrating. No, they're not. They're illegal aliens, and they're coming over. And a lot of them are military age. They even have tents built up in like quiet areas of Texas where they're building a Somalian army with military age men. They probably also have some Mid-Eastern men. And it's scary because those are soldiers and we're supposed to take care of them. So I'm thinking, what is Biden doing? Are they just, trying to get more votes so they can be Democrat forever? Are they replacing us? Because these people could like take us all over. There's how many did they say? 40 million?
40
Is that
million.
what you're my
That's
God?
what Ray said this morning. 40 million.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Well, you gotta
Anyhow.
remember over like a 30-year period.
Okay.
Not just recently, Lord, I would hope not.
I was like, I think we're outnumbered big time. We are outnumbered, but wow, there's more to come. Yeah, well, anyways, this Quartering Act, isn't that what we're doing? Because the kids have to give up 2 high schools so far in Queens and somewhere else in New York so that the migrants could sleep there, so they would have quartering housing, and I'm like, no. And they're saying the next thing they're going to go for is churches. And then after they take over our churches to put up the migrants, they're going to have to put them in people's homes. And they are asking already if you have an extra room or a big basement where you could put a family or a few migrants, please consider that. And I'm like, no.
Did you hear about the lady in Boston that took in the migrants and she's got a cook? She's got
Ray.
somebody to take care of her properties. So, and she's bragging about it. And this is up in Boston. I was watching it the other day. She said they're great workers. They love to cook. They love to do yard work. I'm like, yo, so you got cheap labor for room and board.
Yeah, but at the same token, they can just be biding their time. I mean, what's to say, in another couple of weeks, couple of months, those illegals say, you know what, we got it pretty good here. When the old lady goes off for groceries next time or goes to church, let's get the locks changed because that's been done. Where illegal,
and then they're going to get squatter rights.
Yeah, squatter rights.
Wow.
I think the most prominent one was one where this family took in these illegals and they went on vacation or somewhere for a period of time. And when they came back, their shit was out on the yard. The locks were changed. They took over the house and they took it to court and they lost.
Wow,
Yeah,
should have known
that
better.
That wouldn't happen here. I come home, somebody's in my house. I'll tell you what, it's gonna be a bad deal for them. I promise you.
That's good. That's how we're supposed to respond. It's like we forgot who we are.
Well,
We're Americans.
I've got the mentality FAFO right in my life right now. Fuck around and find out. That's where I'm at in life right now. I ain't playing.
Right?
I really
That's
ain't.
good.
I mean, enough's enough.
Well, you come on, we have to. I think all of us here, Ichabod, you're kind of new to the group, but the rest of you guys have heard me say this time and time and time and time again, and it still holds true today. I've said it before. Republicans typically are conservatives. they're typically churchgoers. They believe in God or the synagogue, um, and we follow the laws put down by God, the Ten Commandments and so forth. But you know that's where the left gets us, because they know we're not going to stand up and fight to take back what they're taking away from us. And those on the left are typically more violent, more vocal. They don't believe in God typically. And they're the ones who are burning the cities. They're looting, they're killing, they're raping. And here we are, the good Christian conservative, saying, "Oh my God,
What
I
do we
guess we,
do?
I guess we should pray about that." Right? It's on God's hands. God has his time schedule. He knows what he's doing. No,
Send them to
God also,
Ichabod's house.
God
So
also,
I was going to say,
He'll take care of them.
let's cut down to Ichabod and let him tell us, because he
Yeah.
said this is not what is happening around
Yeah,
his neck of the woods. So let's hear
because
what's
God,
going
because
on.
God, just one last thing, because God also was with us when He said, "Pick up your arms, pick up your shield, go into combat. I will be with thee always, and I will see you through." And damn if He didn't, see the Jews through every freaking battle, as long as they were obedient to Him. When will we, as Christian conservatives, start saying enough is enough and start to forcefully take back what we're losing?
When God comes down and tells you that you've had enough.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Well, we
Like I
are.
said, me and my
We're
wife,
fighting back.
ahead.
we carry our epistles everywhere we go, even on church on Sunday, and the pastor knows we're both carrying. We've had 2 shootings yesterday right here. One in Kansas City. It's nationwide news. One 85 miles south of me. 2 young boys was shot. Nobody knows who it is. Who shot him in a park? And enough's enough. I mean, anything I see that's out of place, I'm straight calling it out. I mean, like today, I had a white pickup follow me and watching me at work today. I stayed in there for about 15 minutes, and he was casing out of work. When I went outside and started walking towards his truck, that dude booked. I don't know what's going on, but there's some shady shit going on, and I'm ready. And everybody needs to be ready.
That's
You
good.
got to watch everything around you. If you ain't got a gun, get a gun. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I live in a part of the country where nothing happens. Now all of a sudden everything's happening. Hell, we had three bomber planes flying over in formation over us yesterday. Big bombers, like B-52 type things, 4 engines, all in formation. Never. That's not normal. Not here.
Wow. Wow, that's scary stuff. Okay, the next one is the right to have legal search and seizures and arrests, not illegal. And that's exactly what they're doing. They do it to Trump, and then they do it to Biden to make it look like, oh, it's just part of the game. Remember when they went to Mar-a-Lago and they had
Yep.
all of his, it was like beautiful. Everything he does, it's almost sickening. This beautiful carpet and all of his governmental papers that he took, which I kind of think he took legally. He was a president. There was a lot of stuff that presidents are allowed to have. It's his work. It's his life's work. It's bills he's passed. They're things he wrote. So, anyways, the papers that were not classified, he was able to take. And they lay them out all perfect and beautiful. And then they make it look a little messy. And I'm like, you can't do that. That's illegal search and seizure. You can't go into someone's place and take their stuff and show pictures. And then they're making up stories that he took these papers. And I'm like, this is really weird. And then what happened the next week? We saw Biden. And and they weren't laid out pretty. They were in stinking boxes in his garage. And then the funniest memes came out with him riding in his Corvette with Jay Leno because there's that show about Leno's garage or Jay's garage. And so it was like a meme of Jay Leno driving, and then there's Biden, and he's got these boxes in the back seat and all these papers just flying out, flying out, flying out all the way across the state or whatever on the road trip. And it's funny, but it's scary because you can't do that. And he took all those papers when he was a vice president. He was not allowed to take any of the stuff he took. And so it was kind of illegal what they did to him, too. So basically, they do it to Trump first to get us used to it. And then they do it to Biden to make it look like, oh, some bad reporters are doing this. No, you are the guys that are bad. You are the ones who did this, and you're not allowed to. That was so illegal. Everything they're doing to Trump
Joe
is wrong.
I'm sorry, Jen, but Joe Biden said recently he didn't pay attention to what his staff was packing and where it was going to be sent to. He thought it was all going to the National Archives, and he didn't know. But I mean, even if he thought that's where it was going, well, when did the National Archives open up a storage in the glove box of the Corvette? When did they open up a storage in his garage? But even worse than that, I keep coming back to the same point. He was a senator and he was a vice president, and he wasn't allowed to remove things from those buildings and take them that he did. And he didn't have the clearance for anything that was top secret or classified. Didn't have the clearance for anything that was top secret or okay.
Good point. And we're just supposed to give him a pass.
You heard it twice.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was going. Okay, I'm hearing myself back, and that's usually a sign of a problem with StreamYard. But I mean, that's my point. He didn't. The handlers have to know that he shouldn't have had this stuff, regardless of what he says. I tried to work with them, blah blah blah, this that. But Trump, it just keeps coming back to, but it isn't but Trump, Joe, it's you. You are the president. You took this stuff when you weren't the president and when you shouldn't have been the president, and you've had it for so long, and none of us know who you showed it to or what you did with any of it, that
yeah, he made
I just don't want to hear it anymore.
No, it's obvious. And he blames his staff for packing up the stuff. He didn't know what it was. We're not giving him a pass. It was illegal. He took stuff. He sold secrets. That's how he's getting so rich. I'm so sick of seeing all these checks he had. I've seen at least 2 now. He got a check for what was it, $50 million, and then his son Hunter gets 10% of that, and he gets a check too. And I'm like, no. That's because he was making deals in Burisma. We know that. This is so silly, and we don't know how to fight it. But this is kind of cool because these next 2 are Amendment 4 and 5. And they're kind of the same thing. And it kills me because I think of the J6 protesters. This is ridiculous. This is the rights in criminal cases. We have rights in criminal cases, such as no matter what, you're innocent until proven guilty, and you're supposed to be held on bail. Nobody is held without bail until January 6th of 2020 or 21. Anyhow, and then the next one is the right to a fair and free trial, a fair trial. They're supposed to have fair trials. They should have been tried by now, and they should be on bail. So their insurance companies, did you know your insurance company will post your bail? So if you're arrested in I think that's the only way. Someone got out of jail and we're like, how did he do that? Oh, his insurance company. You pay for insurance for your car. AAA will post your bail. You pay for that. I thought that was cool. But it's so sick what is going on with those J6 prisoners. There is no trial. It's not fair, and it's not fast. And all of a sudden they wanted to do this with Trump because they wanted to convict him and lock him away. And so I don't know who was it, Schumer? Someone was saying, well, he is due a fast and fair trial fast. And I'm like, why do they want to try him so fast? Well, we saw them try him slow and he came up guilty for everything. And that's because they want to lock him away so he can't run in 2024. And that's wrong. It's scary. Anyone want to talk? I'll shut up. Go ahead.
I don't
You're
want to shut.
muted.
I don't want to shut you up, Jen. But you brought up J6ers. No, we don't have to go. You brought up J6ers, and I wanted to just give Ichabod a chance to tell us what's up with his son, if he so chooses to tell us, or what he can tell us.
I hadn't heard anything from him for a week, and then I got word today from him by text message because they get iPads in there. He's not called me. I have not heard his voice since he's been gone. But he's supposed to be sending his visiting letters and everything else, but they've been in lockdown because there's been 2 stabbings and a race riot in there. So, yeah, like, that's my baby, and I'm like freaking out over it because it's unreal. It's surreal. You know what I mean? It's like, I expect usually he called me every day, and now I don't get them phone calls every day, and it's trying. I'm telling you, it's tough. So,
and that scary thing about getting, you're getting text messages from an iPad or a tablet or something that he has in prison. You don't even know if that's him.
I know. I just want to hear his voice. Hell, when I went to prison years ago, back in 1996 for little marijuana, which was the stupidest damn thing. I mean, I can't believe they send people to prison for just a little bit of shit like that, but they do. And, I got to call, a couple times a week, got in touch with my family. Hell, I ain't even got a letter from him. I don't have his DOC number. I mean, I was told he's got to send his visiting papers and all his information to me. He said he sent the paperwork out 3 weeks ago, and I still haven't received anything from him.
Man,
crazy.
He was one of my business partners, and I've got to do some legal paperwork and talk to him on the phone over some issues we got coming up by the end of next Friday, and I have no way to contact him. And I got to have his signature. It's like, wow.
Yeah, crazy.
I don't understand how this government of ours can treat American citizens worse than they're treating the terrorists in Gitmo. To be held without a trial, to be held without bail, whether it be cash or not, all they're trying to do is break these people down to a point to where they'll cave and turn on President Trump. That's all they're trying to do. And unfortunately, as much as those people love President Trump, they're eventually going to give, and they're going to say whatever it is that their prison tenants want them to say or do.
Yep.
wow.
It's scary. Do we still have, actually, Ray, you may know too, Ichabod, do we still have people that are held that have not even gotten their first time in court? There's
some that have.
Yeah,
they're just sitting there waiting that have not even had that first
trial,
first time in front of a judge.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, like I said, I'll be going up there in the next couple of weeks to get up there to Freedom Corner and get some good information, and I'll be able to speak with Mrs. Babbitt and others to see what's actually going on, because I haven't been up there since January 6th, and no, I was there after that when we was at Hagerstown. I went back up there, but I'm going to go up there in the next couple of weeks, so I'll hopefully have some better firsthand information.
Good.
Okay, well, this Amendment 7 is about the rights in civil cases, except for Trump. No, I'm kidding. But it feels like it. This is the one that specifically says you are innocent until proven guilty. And they are saying that he's guilty and they're going to prove it. And I'm like, no, he's innocent until proven guilty. It's ridiculous. They've changed everything. And about this border crisis, they've changed the wording in the Fourth Amendment, Article 4 or Section 4. And what it is it calls it an invasion. And they changed the word. They go, it's not an invasion. We welcome them over. And I'm like, no, it's an invasion. They know they're not allowed to come. I don't know why we got rid of Title 41. That was crazy. We had something, but I think it is getting overwhelming. Everybody knows this. And so, for political points or plays, they say that stay in Mexico, that is probably going to come back just to try to make put lipstick on the pig. They're trying to make Biden look good, make the Democrats look good by reinstating the stay in Mexico law. It's ridiculous. I don't know what else they can do because until Trump comes and deports everybody, it's scary. Is everything okay?
I think people think that if it falls back that you stay in Mexico until you are told by whoever that you can go to the border and enter. I think what they're hoping is that Mexico will start refusing people the right to come in to Mexico because they're going to have to wait in Mexico until they can get here. And if they do that, then they become Mexico's problem, and they don't become Mexico's problem once they sneak across the border or get somehow into the United States. And I don't think Mexico wants
that.
I don't think Mexico wants that. I don't think the cartels want that. If the cartels are the people that run Mexico, no, they don't want to pay for people that don't have any legitimate right to be in Mexico, other than maybe carrying stuff into the United States. But it's crazy.
Well, the Eighth Amendment specifically is about bail. You cannot be held without bail. You have to have bail unless what you did was so heinous. And these J6ers were protesters. They were not killers. They have stronger laws on these J6ers holding them back than they do this MS-13 or M13. What is it? It's a terrible, a terrible gang. And if they get arrested and put in jail, they all they have to have is bail, and their insurance companies can bail them out. It's like, no. So someone's gonna have to come up with
this. Mute your mic, please.
Thank you. The next part about this is, they have to enforce the bail. They have to enforce fines. But this cruel and unusual punishment, this is a good point. And this is to Amendment 8, that you cannot have cruel and unusual punishment. But what is really sick is it seems like that is what they're doing to the American people who are not in prison. No, we're all terrified. You can't let these gangs just run free, and you cannot just let anybody come over unchecked. Now, we had to get vaccinated or we would lose our job. Now we have all these unvaccinated people coming over that are taking our jobs because they're all unemployed. And I'm like, that is cruel and unusual. Punishment to what? Being an American? That's scary. It's very sad. But the next amendment, this one is funny. I don't understand it. I've Googled it. Nobody gets it. But it is the right retained by the people. That's all it is. Rights retained by the people. So the gays took this and they ran with it. And that's how they can have gay marriage. And then I'm guilty of this. The homeschoolers take it. And we're like, oh, we are allowed to homeschool. Look at this. These rights obtained are retained by the people. And it's like, it's just silly. Nobody really understands it, but it's there for a purpose. Okay, anyhow, the next one is 10, the states' rights. And this is important. This is basically what the Supreme Court did when they punted. It feels like they just punted it. They gave it to the states. They're like, you guys take care of it. We've got more than enough to do nationally, and that would be the abortion clause. So now that is in the hands of each state government instead of the federal government paying for abortion, whoever you are, wherever you are. If you want to, go ahead. Now it's the state's decision because there are some states that are saying, like a lot of the down south Baptist states are the whole Bible Belt is against abortion. Most people are because you're killing an unborn baby, and they say, well, we'll give you the clause unless it's rape, incest, or for the life of the mother because it could kill her, which I've never seen a case where a pregnancy would kill the mother, but it's a sad situation, but that's going to be the biggest piece of legislation. That's going to be a big fight over the next I don't know what it is. Over the next, is it a Supreme Court justice? I don't know. Someone's supposed to step down, and that's what they're trying to bring up again, is the right to have an abortion. And it's sad because it's truly a right to murder.
So let's hear something from William Ray. We haven't heard from you for a little bit. What you got on your mind? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
I'll give you a quick flash. Supreme Court voted 9-0 against the Biden administration. They tried to pass an order where citizens would not be able to sue the federal government.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court just shot that down this evening, 9-0. See, because that's another thing. If you out there and you've been done wrong, and you feel your civil rights or your constitutional rights, law-abiding citizen rights have been violated, get in line, because the line is getting long. I got in line a long time ago because Trump ain't gonna have a problem giving away the people's money. He's gonna show you how to give away money, not to other countries, not to this and that. No, he gonna make America great again. At the same time, he gonna start tossing out that cash. So that was just something that I paid notice to today. I'm like, y'all trying to block citizens from suing the federal government, because that's what's going to happen. Everybody going to try to get paid if their rights have been violated. Oh, that's going to be the attorneys are going to have a heyday with civil rights violation cases. Oh yeah. Yep.
It's our right to petition. I'm sorry. That's good.
Yeah, no, you're right, Jen. Go ahead. You're right. It's all right. They violated so many people.
We have the right to petition. And like the whole Keystone Pipeline from Canada all the way down to the Gulf distilleries that we're going to take that crude oil and turn it into gasoline. And Biden gets in on the very first day and he's like, no, he's going to stop the Keystone Pipeline. I'm like, oh my gosh, we pissed off Canada. We pissed off all these people that had promises to make money. 17 different states, all the way down to Texas. And they all got their dreams squashed. And a lot of the governors did petition. They tried suing the president. Nothing happened. It's still up there, pie in the sky. But wouldn't that be nice if he were able to get that passed? I'm so glad you brought that up, Ray. That is sick. That he's trying to go against the very same constitution that he swore an oath to. Well, he's already a treason. I don't know. He's committed treason under section. Oh God, what is it first?
He undid it all. They undid it all.
Yeah,
he broke it all.
Yeah, don't even know the facts anymore. Just know. Yeah,
hey, that's a good title for a song right there. That he broke it all.
He broke it all. He broke it all.
The first song ever dedicated to Biden. There you go.
The new song from Taylor Swift and her boyfriend.
Come on,
Tyler
Chief.
Yeah, Chief Tyler.
Kelsey.
But it's amazing how we get to witness his demise. He once reigned supreme, and we get to witness his downfall.
Yep.
So
When
feel
he
sorry
goes,
for
the
the
day
old
he
man.
walks out, I'm gonna write a song say he gone.
I love it.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep. Ichabod's going to write a song. There is sunshine when he's gone.
There's that's great.
So on a light note,
Yep.
quit
Oh,
going
wait,
out to
wait
your
a
local
minute.
groceries and
I
buying
don't like
meat.
this
Go
screen.
to your local processor and buy meat. I went in with a buddy of mine and bought a half a cow, and I
Oh,
figured it up. It cost me $550 for a quarter. We went in half, so I got a quarter. He got a quarter, and I paid about $3.36 a pound. So I've got
that's
60
awesome.
pounds of hamburger. I've got T-bone steak, sirloin steak, stew, brisket. That's the best way to go, and you know what you're getting. You're getting real meat.
Does your company ship anywhere, Ichabod? If someone wants meat, can they
I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
ask
I'll
them?
ask him tomorrow.
That's great.
Because
Buy locally. There's no cat. There's no bat. There's no bioengineered meat.
There's no
in there.
human.
Oh God. Who knows? You're right. No, yours is clean, but I'm saying with the stuff you buy at the store, they can do whatever they want. That's another person I'd like to call. And I do. Call your congressman and tell them about the FDA. The guy who's put in charge of the FDA is so bought and crooked. He'll do
Yeah.
whatever they tell him to do. He's putting
Yep.
acrylamide in the food. Acrylamide. It's the same kind of chemical they put in acrylic. And all these people are going to get really weird cancers in the next 5 years. And that's what it's from, the food. And it's
Yep.
sick. The FDA does not have to do anything that they used to. They don't have to tell you what's in it. They don't. They can say bioengineered food. And we're supposed to say, okay, how nice of the government, because there's so many of us, they have to provide. No, this is sick. It's absolutely wrong.
Okay, I want to go back for a second and just let me do this because Barbara is new and she's a smart lady that I've seen so far. She just wants to bring to the attention that there are cases where a pregnancy would kill the mother, such as a fallopian tube pregnancy that could kill the mother. And there was a case of a 12-year-old who wouldn't have been able to deliver unassisted through an operation, a cesarean. And so there are things, and I appreciate you bringing that to our attention, Barbara. Yes, there are things where the rights of the protection of the mother should be maintained. And there's we've said incest, we've said rape, we said a medical thing that could risk the mother's health, and anything else. And I'm not pro-abortion. I'm not against abortion. I don't believe that abortion should be used as a contraceptive, which I believe that the Catholic Church is guilty of because people don't want to use protection and not get pregnant. And from a church that says abstinence is the best way to avoid getting pregnant, well, your heads are up a part of your body that I'm not going to say, because everybody in your church, as soon as they find out how good it feels, is doing it. And it's just going to be that way. Barbara's a smart lady. I've only seen her on a couple of times, and she had some good advice for me the other day. I was going off on something, and she said, "Let's be cordial." So she was 100%. She was 100% right, Barbara. I appreciate you being in the live chat and at least bringing it to our attention that there are some cases where it should be allowed. We are coming up on 8:30. I promised we would be done by 9 o'clock because my wife is subbing tomorrow and is probably going to hit bed pretty soon. because she has to be up earlier than I do. So let's see. Ichabod got here last, so let's let Ichabod go first with his closing, and then we'll go to William, and then we'll go to Jen, and then we'll go, and Randy will ignite his parachute last because he has to go home and get some sleep because he's on tomorrow morning with Bill Muckler and I. So
Awesome.
Ichabod, the floor is yours. Whoop.
Everybody,
Did he leave? This screen is really a pain in the neck. Ichabod, Steve, if you want to say your goodbyes, go ahead.
Yeah, I want everybody to just watch out and be safe. Stay vigilant in everything you're surrounding. You know, things are getting crazier, and I think it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse before it gets better, guys. I mean, we got to stay positive, though. But like I said, love your six. God bless you and love you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Good
All
night,
right,
brother.
all right, thank you, Steve. You're welcome back anytime. Our next time is Tuesday, 7 p.m. if you're around and you want to join us.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Good.
more
Night,
than
guys.
welcome. All right, let's see. Well, I hate working this. It's a touch screen, but it's not as nice as just having a mouse, and it's easy to go. So, Ichabod, you're always welcome on anytime. Let's see. Let's go to Brother Ray.
Well, you know, it's always good to be able to piggyback off what some people say. And exactly what he said, you know, let's stay positive. Things are going to get worse before they get better. Pay attention to your surroundings. You see something, say something. If what hasn't happened between Joe Osteen and Lakewood Church and what happened in the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl just yesterday doesn't make you aware of what's about to take place, just keep praying for the nation. That's all you can do, really. And I appreciate the opportunity once again. Thank you.
Me. Always a pleasure, Ray. Next time this Tuesday. Tomorrow morning, you're welcome to come and join us in the second half of the program. Bill Muckler is going to stop by tomorrow morning, and Randy and I are going to spend a few minutes talking with him, and then we'll go back into a regular Friday Boogie with the Bull. But so you're welcome to stop by. I would guess probably anytime after 10:30 because Bill has to leave by then because he's on at 11 o'clock. So if you're in the neighborhood, drop on by. I'll make sure we send you a link. And if I pray tonight, pray to God, and God's in a giving mood, we might get picked up by the Patriots Lab Network. You never know. Randy Rhodes might get that parking space that handicap parking space that he's begging for. But Ray,
Right.
always a pleasure, and I hope that when you're in Washington that you'll keep in touch with us and keep us up to date on what's going on as well.
Stay safe.
Well, yeah, I tried. I think I tried reaching out to you when I was down at the border, but you were all tied up. You need to cut that stuff out. You're getting too old. But I got a hold to Michael Anthony, and I was able to go live on his broadcast for a little while. So maybe I can be able to do the same thing. Get
Awesome.
you live, boots on the ground coverage.
Yep.
But hey, lady and gents, thank you very much.
All right.
you.
God bless.
Okay, let's see. Let me do this. He did that for me. And let's see. Let's go to Miss Woodruff.
I just wanted to say, feel free to print out your own pocket guide of the Bill of Rights and the number that you can use. We're still fighting for our rights. And the most encouraging thing that I posted in the comments here is that everything looks impossible until it's done. And we saw our forefathers gain freedom, and all we have to do is maintain it, protect it, and fight for it to pass on to our children. Thank you.
All right, Jen, the homeschooling mom, always a pleasure to have you on. The next one is Tuesday if you're around, or Thursday if you're around, or whenever
Right.
you want to be around. And tell people where you are when you're not here.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Stalkers. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding.
All right. In that case, you ready? Well, Jen beats me to it. And like I said, Randy Rhodes is doing a fantastic job of leading the panel or stepping up as a co-host. And I just want to thank him for that before he disappears. His head gets so big that it blows him off the screen. But no, I really appreciate what he's doing. Whoops, wait a minute. I lost my notes. I left them over here. The Road to Dixie, Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on the Randy Rhodes Facebook channel. That's what I'm calling everybody's profile lately. The Road to Dixie, 7 p.m. Sunday evenings on the Randy Rhodes Facebook channel. And he'll be back tomorrow morning from 10 to probably 10:30 or right around 10:30, I imagine, with Bill Muckler. And I'm looking forward to that broadcast as well. You ready, Randy? You're going to be doing it, or am I going to do it?
Yeah, the road to Dixie came about because of the success of All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy. A lot of folks just took notice to the love I have for the South and my attention to detail whenever possible. And they decided to choose me to create this broadcast. Now, it's only right now is going to be 2 times a month because the funding is limited. I might just throw in a couple of free shows, depending on how well it does. But Ichabod Palmer is going to be a guest for a few weeks on the show. He's going to be discussing his job to preserve the Confederate tombstones and statues and monuments and cleaning up the cemeteries that are being desecrated by those on the left. And he's also going to probably touch base on his butchering job on how he gets a fresh meat. I reached out to some other folks. Looks like we're going to try and get our own theme music from a true Dixie band. And also going to possibly have folks on who are going to actually prepare a meal live on the show, showing Southern cuisine and other things. So I'm trying a whole bunch of different stuff we're going to talk about. I hope it's going to be exciting enough to be a success. If not, hey, I tried, right? But the South will rise again. The South is rising again, and the South will be a force to reckon with. And those on the left are going to find that out shortly. Other than that, I do have several openings for my All Roads Lead Home Genealogy client base. I do have a Valentine's special going on. So if you're interested, reach out to me and we'll talk about your family history.
All right. All right, Randy, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, you and I and Bill Muckler. And are you going to do it or am I going to do it?
Oh, I'm going to do it.
All right, Randy's going to do it.
So, folks, from All Roads to Genealogy and the Road to Dixie, I'm pulling my parachute.
It's so much fun. It makes me laugh being able to do that. I do want to touch base with one last thing that Barbara said in the live chat. She was forced to delete her comment or have a restriction for something that she wanted to post in the live chat. Do me a favor. If you are typing something in and you go to send it into the live chat and you get that flag that if you post it, you're going to get in trouble, cut it. Don't post it. It's not worth getting in trouble. Just either figure out another way you can word it and post it, or maybe bug me enough and you can come on as a guest, because it's different. Guests can say some things that you can't post as a comment because that's just the rules of being on a broadcast. Anyway, I'm Dave Wilburn. You're not. Thank you for the privilege of letting me abuse your time. This is the time where we say you've been watching Boogie with the Bull Thursday Night Live for February 15th, 2024, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company, who invites you to watch us tomorrow morning, one more time, at 10 a.m. for Friday Morning Caffeine with Randy Rhodes and Bill Muckler. And Randy will bring us through a discussion with Bill, a retired Marine captain, hosts the Bill Muckler Show Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. here on Facebook, on the Bill Muckler Facebook page, and over in the Bill Muckler Show group. So you should watch the broadcast. You should share the broadcast everywhere you can on Facebook. Bill would appreciate it. Also, go to 2020americabook.com and look at his books, 2020, A Clear Vision for America, and 2020, A Clear Vision for Our Future. Bill wrote them in 2025, I believe, and you'll find things in there that I think are still 100% true today. So tune in tomorrow to catch that and watch the Bill Muckler Show, like I said, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Go over to Rumble. American Rebellion is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever they end. Always good talk and things that you should pay attention to. Michael Anthony, befriend him on his Facebook page. Pay attention to what's on his page. You'll get notified when he goes live. Always has so many things going that if you read his page every day, you'll find where he's going to be every day. And again, follow William Rayfield, the Patriots Lab. Follow Randy Rhodes, All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy Group, as well as watch the new upcoming The Road to Dixie, Sundays at 7 p.m., like Randy said. And I'm going to pull the plug and shoot my own parachute right now as I come up and go. Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is going to come to an end. We're going to do one